G's side, and Coil seems to set up literally every other hero in some respect.
Yeah.
You got the AoE Nether Toxin, you got Mortimer's Kisses, you have Bramble to keep them in, or Terrorize to get them out to break the puck Coil. What do you think of this lineup?
I really like EG's draft. That looks very well rounded. They have what they need, and they didn't stray too far away from what worked in Game 1 as well. So we'll see if Quincy's approach in Game 2 can be better. But I'm going to have to say, if EG play like they did in the beginning of Game 1, then it will be difficult, because their rotations were on point.
Yeah, on the other side for Quincy crew, I mean, the last pick, Drow Ranger, the panel seemed to like that quite a bit. Do you think this is going to be completely dependent on Quinn getting off to a very good start, or do they have some other aces up their sleeve here?
Doesn't have to be. I think he can get a lot of space just by Ogre and Tide playing together. Even Drow Ranger could activate a little bit earlier, but it's difficult to shut down a Storm in the early game, though.
As we're going to see the Bounty Rune battle commence, and this is a scary lineup. This Quincy crew, you can see IO obviously making every hero faster, more regen, and Ponla with the infinite armor at level 1.
Yeah, 3 for 1 on the bounty runes, thanks to him being stronger.
Yep, so good start for Quincy crew. I would be interested to look at a stat where if you get 3 or more bounty runes at the beginning of the game, what the win rate is, if it even makes that big of an impact.
I've seen
it would be.
Yeah, I've seen some numbers. I don't know exactly the 3-1, but I know I saw some stats for like if you get all 4 bounty runes, it was something up in the 70%. It's really impactful. Wow. I think it's less so that the runes are super impactful, more so that it tells the story that your opponents were, not on the right track here from the start, so maybe they are not playing good Dota.
Right, and I guess if you're getting all 4, that's a much smaller sample size than the 3-1, which we see quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be cool to see some break to that at some point. So Quinn versus Abed at it again. Seen this matchup so many times in different forms. This will be the Storm Spirit versus Puck. Your thoughts on the hero-to-hero matchup?
I think Storm does just fine, and then at level 6, Puck can start killing Storm if he gets rotations. But until then, it's pretty much just a farm trade. Puck will work as hard as he can to harass. Wow, a lot of high ground misses for Quinn. But usually not able to do too much, as the hydration runes and the bottle gonna keep Storm's HP up.
Yeah, the cool thing about Quinn is you're talking about the luck factor with the uphill missing, but he is the one mid laner that has come out and said that he thinks he is actually lucky when it comes to runes. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone, especially a mid laner, say something like that before. It always stuck in my mind.
Maybe he's just not aware that there are 2 hydration runes. He's like, I always win it. I always get the water rune, guys.
Yeah, just hasn't read the patch notes from a couple years ago. Abed's going to chase down this. Looks like he'll get the bottom one and Quinn will get the top. So Quinn lucky again, it looks like. As the bottom lane, we're seeing a lot of harassment, but this is an interesting lane. It's Io Tide coupled up, so Kezu will be very hard to deal with versus the Wraith King Snapfire. What are your thoughts on this lane?
I like that Kezu decided to go for like a no regen build on his Tidehunter, just allowing the Wisp to do all the work regenerating him. So he went for a really stat-heavy build to be competitive in the last hits here early on. It's a pretty cool lane. I like a Tidehunter with some farm.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see that level 25 talent on a core, like a position 1 Tide or even a mid Tide. I have yet to see it. It sounded good at first, but then when I saw like a pub game, somebody doing it, it was absolutely trash. So hopefully that gets buffed in the near future. Maybe the next patch, in fact.
I think it's actually insanely powerful, but usually we don't get to that stage for offlane Tidehunters in the competitive games. But that talent is
maybe
really
my
good.
games are just very low level compared to what you see. But have you actually seen like higher level players do this build?
I mean, yeah, I haven't seen it in competitive again, but I've seen people do it in my pub games. I've done it myself as well, and it is bonkers if you get there.
Did you play Dota 1? I can't remember.
Yes, I played Dota for about 18 years.
Okay, so trying to see if that's before my time or not. But you remember the old Tidehunter with the passive anchor smash, right?
Course,
Where he would do like the 360.
Yeah.
That was one of the best animations in the game.
Battlefield
Very
Tide.
sad when they changed it.
Battlefield Tide every game, so you could spin.
Stuff. There's a lot of things we miss from Dota. I mean, you remember the PA where you'd get blur and you'd be literally invisible, basically, and you'd go for 5 Battle Furies as top lane. Ponlo looks like he's going to get stuck and be brought down as MSS gets first blood. I think he got first blood last game as well, so good start for EG again.
Yeah, he did. Really nice kill for him. Getting a good start once again on Viper. And they're trying to get Wraith King bottom, but maybe he can stay safe.
Yeah, so much regen on Kezu. We'll be taking some heavy damage, though, thanks to the little shredder. The cookie will connect along with the tower shots. Looks like he'll live thanks to the salve, and it will not get canceled, so they can reset now.
Yeah, they can reset, but
very rough.
But look at RTZ. He gets the space to farm all this under tower, so juicy farm for Wraith King while Jerax is trying to create space for him.
Yep, that is true. I believe a Soul Ring. Oh, is he not going Soul Ring on Tide? He hasn't finished it yet. Is he actually going for the regen? What did he get? Oh, he got Chainmail, so he's just going to go Phase Boost straight up. Okay, cool. This is going to get the Gush off. Jerax taking heavy damage, but will be able to TP out.
8 mana. 8 mana away from Anchor smashing that. That was close.
And I'm looking at the CS right now, in the mid lane specifically. Abed at 30-2, and Quinn 38-4. Of course, I'm sure some of these are jungle camps, but still off to a great start. Top lane, Cursed Crown. In addition to the Bramble, looks like it might be enough to take out Ponlo. Indeed it is. So MSS with both kills for EG thus far.
Yeah, I guess Pondo is dying for the Drow Ranger here, but I mean, this is again Viper having a good start, getting what he wants, and he has an early earn. So getting those earn charges from the kills allows him to, you know, keep getting more difficult kills because of it.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage over time between his poison attack. Well, literally everything about
yep.
Plus the earn.
That's the hero.
Now, is this a game where you want to, I guess you would want to go Spirit Vessel for sure against the IO, right?
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah. Quinn, looks like he won't get this rune, but that was because more members of EG came to play. He is level 6, but so is Abed. He's going to use Coil onto the tier 1 tower. Does he have enough damage to actually take him out here? There's a stun coming from Quinn. TP support on the way as well. He's going to zip away. This might be a bait for Abed as Milan to get the Fire Blast off with the Illusory Orb just in time to jaunt. But they do lose the Snapfire in the midst of the tier 1 tower here.
I think
so
there
nice rotations from Quincy crew.
May have been some miscommunication there as they tried to gank there, because Puck was relying on the Cookie coming in from Snapfire, so he gets the kill on Storm. But Cookie was on cooldown. He used it bottom before coming in there, so he had like 3 seconds cooldown on Snapfire, and that results in them not able to get to Storm.
Yeah, that is unfortunate if you're an EG fan, but looking in the top jungle now, Yawar gets a nice multi-shot off. The Shadow Realm keeping Crit alive for a little bit longer, and he might be able to get out. The Apollo's going to continue on with that Fire Blast, but MSS chasing Yawar, and on the other side, Jerax finds him, not able to deny himself to the neutral, so MSS with yet another kill. Apollo gets the residual one on the Crit, though, so at least some sort of a trade, but definitely EG off. I mean, MSS is 3-0 now, and he's going straight for Boots of Travel.
Yeah, I like how they're able to play around him. I mean, they haven't brought too many people up there. It's just, you know, Viper putting himself in a good spot to find kills, really, and being very active in his role.
They are making some rotations, though, as Arteezy has made his way to the top lane, and it looked like MSS wanted to transition up, but is thinking twice about it. But that means Kezu is left all alone in the bot lane, which he's going to be very happy about.
Yeah, more time for him to farm up. He has the Soul Ring now as well, so can farm a little bit faster with the Anchor Smash spam. We see a lot of...
yeah, I'm a little surprised that he's farming better than Arteezy was in that lane, but the level advantage actually goes the way of Arteezy, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, Arteezy was left alone more. You know, getting the solo experience makes the difference.
And MSS in the tree line, trying to find Ponlo. Does have a TP available, but EG going to focus on the tier 1 tower, and it looks like that's going to be taken without a defense here.
Yeah, opening up the map a little bit, and they're still holding on to their bottom tower. I like how Jerax is farming down there with a TD rune, just trying to not let the tower die too early.
Okay, Yawar has a Midas queued up. Is this real? I mean, he's off to a rough start in farming department, so maybe that makes sense on stun level. His bottom lane, they're going to find the Snapfire kill, does Quincy crew. That's the... I was going to say that was a relocate, but no. It was just the old-fashioned tether with Storm.
Yeah, they zip in. The Midas for Drow Ranger here, I think he doesn't want to join anything. He's just going to sit in jungle and hit creeps forever and let his team play as 4. And then somewhere in like 20 minutes, the Drow is going to win the game. So I guess you can go Midas here, if all you're going to do is farm anyway.
I mean, good news, Waga. We do have a Bloodlust leveled this game.
Oh my god.
Very early.
Wow.
I don't remember who that was anymore, but they'll remain nameless.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
No name and shame. I've seen multiple ogres go for several points Fire Blast. It seems popular. I don't really agree with the value on it. I like Ponlo's build in this game though. The 1 point stun, maxing fire, ignite, and Bloodlust after.
Yeah. And Yawar with the Midas, that's extra attack speed for Drow. Very, very good. Of course, it does absolutely nothing with multi-shot, but we'll just ignore that aspect. Yeah, this means they want to take a little bit of a slower approach, which I would assume, like back to our original conversation, it looks like Quinn will have to get some kills here, or at least create some space for Yawar in some fashion.
But he's having a good game, so he is the one leading them.
Yep. And they're going to try for MSS, completely outnumbered with the relocate coming in, so... a very value kill on the Quincy crew, and again, MSS was very farmed. And he actually bought something, so I'm not sure if it's the Boots of Travel. He changed his mind, but on the other side, Yawar, we're talking about creating space. You can't do that if he's dead. One more right click should do it. He will fall to the last one of Abed, and it'll be a trade for the Dark Willow.
Good trade for them. The Viper did buy out the Spirit Vessel, so we talked about the potential for him going for that. He went for it before Boots of Travel even. Wanting to fight more, and it's a great item against Wisp.
Yeah, so in essence, he didn't really end up losing much gold then, since he bought out essentially before he died. That's nice little min-maxing from MSS. And I can understand the Boots of Travel purchase if he had gone for it as well, because he was off to such a good start, and it just helps amplify everything in that fashion, but not to be yet.
Yeah, Spear Vessel probably the more active fighting build, and look at him. He wants to go and fight in the enemy jungle right now, activating together with a crit. Just taking over.
Has the one Spirit Vessel charge for now. Remember when that, for I don't know how long, was that like a month, where Spirit Vessel had that passive that just worked?
Oh yeah.
The health regen de-amp, or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, that was not great. I'm glad we don't have that anymore. It's a very short period of time.
Yeah, Necro was a very sad hero at that time. He still is, of course. Need some more buffs. Ice Frog, please. Bring back the no buyback mechanic on Necro, please.
Oh god, that was the best. You kill someone and you just know he's not playing Dota for 2.5 minutes. This guy is out.
Yeah. I can't remember. Was that the same time as the respawn timer talents? Because that would have been a good reason to have it, actually.
I can't remember if it overlapped with that.
I'm going to say yes, as
maybe.
You can see this pretty big stack Yawar wants to take out. He does not have any damage, though, other than his ult, so Kezu's going to have to help out with the Anchor Smash. So this will help catch up Yawar to some degree.
This is one of those cases where Kezu is doing all the work, and Yawar is going to take the money.
Yeah. He gets XP. Yeah, that's something.
He gets exposure.
But yeah, it's the greatest downfall for any artist, right? Paid by exposure, the worst kind.
Exposed to XP.
Quinn, oh, the smoke's gonna break here, and Jarak's just gonna TP out.
Wow, what a spot! He was right behind that tree. They had vision there, by the way, everywhere except right behind that tree. So precise.
Yeah. Well, Ponlo is still smoked up, looking to get some wards down. Gets dewarded immediately by Jarax, though. That feels pretty bad. And looking at the position 1 farms, obviously... wait, did he... Okay. I was going to say, Yawar, I think the Midas is on its way, finally. So, a 13-minute Midas on Drow. We'll see if it pays off.
There's plenty of time to farm in this game still, and he has very little plans to join fights, I think. The
question is, where will his farm be at when Arteezy gets the Deso armlet? Right, because that's when they're going to start fighting, I would assume.
Oh no, the combo.
Oh, we have the Terrorize. Oh, speaking of Yawar, has he even used the Midas? No!
No.
Efficiency! No! But they're going to try to turn this around with the relocate. They'll find crit at the very least, but Jarax forcing them out thanks to the Mortimer's Kisses. So not the greatest rotation from Quincy Crew, not able to save their position 1. Yuar has died 3 times this game.
Yeah, just goes down.
And he basically still doesn't have Midas, Wagga, because he didn't use it.
Exactly. Dead for over 30 seconds, and then he has to TP out, find some creeps. Oh, that doesn't feel great.
And we're talking about where Arteezy is basically just a Mithril Hammer away, basically 1,600 away from finishing Deso. So what can Quincy Crew do to withstand what is to come here?
I think what they need to do is keep killing Viper, keep making power plays now before there's a BKB on Viper. I think Storm is very strong right now, and you gotta try and play around him and Tidehunter somehow. Drow is not gonna join. She's busy, but the rest of them can maybe make plays.
Yeah. I mean, the issue, I guess, is that it's going to be 4v5, and EG has no real reason to split up once they hit this power spike, I would assume.
RTC ceiling. There it is. Nice.
Beautiful. Just missing Bulba in the picture, please. Smoke up now by Quincy Crew.
There's no guarantee that...
Blink Dagger on Kezu, by the way.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that RTC wants to join the fight either, though. But he might here as they're baiting top.
Yeah, Milan gets fire blasted. We hear the Ravage go off, but Kezu not able to find anybody with it other than Crit, who is Shadow Realm. They will find that kill at the very least, but can they get more? That is certainly not worth a Ravage.
Yeah, he was aiming for
There's
Puck.
the coil.
Yeah.
Oh, Quinn getting beat down by Abed. There's the cookie to follow. Fire blast from Ponlo. Try to help out, but Quinn looks like he does not have enough mana to get out. And Ponlo is going to be next on the list as EG taking this fight quite easily, and into the Roche pit they go. They have the minus armor from Jerax.
Yeah, I'd call that a full disaster, pretty much. Using Ravage, losing a team fight right by Roche against a team with high minus armor. They're gonna get Roche for free here, I think.
And Abed not in the vicinity, so you have to assume that Aegis again will go to Wraith King, which, I mean, it's worked out. I mean, it's hard to really gauge how much impact it has because people play differently when he had, like, you just have to ignore him, right?
Yeah, he was owning. I mean, if he gets his Blink Dagger during the time of this Aegis, which he very well might. I mean, it's just 5 minutes, but he farms very fast. He might get Blink Dagger as well into his inventory.
Yeah, so see the zip in. All right, the Yules onto Quinn. They're able to set up the kill onto the Dark Willow, so Crit with his 5th death of the game. Been tanking a lot of these ganks, though, as Yuar has his Dragon Lance now, so starting the road to recovery, I guess is the best way to put it, as you see the Ravage there from earlier.
Yeah, this is Team Quincy. They went for something big there, trying to surprise the Puck, but right now they need to wait for the big cooldown, and they don't have too many plays they can make when Ravage is down. So right now the map feels pretty open for EG.
Yeah, and they're sporting the 2K net worth lead, and you have to assume that the outer towers are going to be what they try to focus on as Arteezy and company. Oh, yeah, Quinn was taken out in the bot lane, so that required the Mortimer's Kisses as well as the coil, so a very high-value kill again for EG.
They just have so many combinations with Dream Coil. Like we talked about, you mentioned it when the game started. Pretty much anything combined with Puck here is able to kill the Storm, and that is a terrifying fact in this game.
Yeah, they have so many good combos. And it's pretty easy to get the coils off, as Jerax is trying to tank this gank, as there is the relocate Milan. He's by himself, but Jerax is going to be taken out. And Abed will be able to walk away safely. That was a relocate bait, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at least Quincy gets something, but EG not losing anything of value there, really. Losing your support. Don't think they're too phased by it.
Yeah. Abed has the Witchblade, by the way, to go along with his Yules, and is going to go for Blink next. So, again, I mean, Blink is not always picked up by Puck. And the fact that we talked about the coil setup being so good, I think that makes a lot of sense. You get the Blink into the immediate coil, and it doesn't really matter what you do, because your team has just god-tier spells to combo it up with.
I love that decision because a lot of mid players will just brainlessly buy Kaya Sanj no matter what. And in this patch, you can have a lot of success with that. But will it be the best item you could choose? I think Blink here is much better, and that allows him to go into Aghanims after the Blink, which will destroy Storm.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, talked about this before with Jenkins about how Tide is one of those heroes that just had this cookie cutter. You'd always get Blink Dagger first, but now things have changed so much that it's a decision you have to make. And Puck, kind of in the same category, used to be Blink only. Not anymore. Witchblade
and Kaya Sanj, both such fantastic options nowadays for int mid heroes. You always have to weigh which one you want more.
EG using the smoke for warding Expedition, and they'll be successful in getting some down. And the Aegis is online for another minute and a half. So Arteezy, with the Deso in tow, is definitely going for that Blink next like you talked about, as relocate, Milan taking Yawar away. And I think this was pinged out by EG, so they have an idea that Io shall return for his death. There he is.
But they
don't see him, though.
They didn't see where, and I couldn't see it on the ground either. I don't know what happened there. Oh. Did you see the portal?
I did not see the portal, no. And I was surprised. I thought he was in the trees, but it ended up outside in the lane. Surprisingly.
Yeah, he tethered in when he relocated out, of course, and timed it very well. So he was much further away than EG anticipated there, and I just couldn't see the indication. Normally, you just find the indication and go and kill him.
This would be another cool stat. Relocation when you come back as Io alone, what your death rate is. It has to be like 95+%, right?
Oh, God.
That was a very rare occurrence.
Yeah. Happy to live.
I mean, Abed has the Blink Dagger and Arcane Rune, by the way.
Definitely ready to fight. Sometimes you'll have a friend stick around so you can tether out on Wisp, you know, but lately I feel like we've seen a lot of people just, thanks Wisp, and then they're just gone, leave him.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep, Ponlo being found by Jerax here. Chris coming from the other side, so Ponlo will die one way or the other. And it will be to MSS, who picks up his 5th kill of the game.
Did you see his dying move there? He walked in to block the Ancient Camp. He walked in and stood on it. He's like, there will be no Ancients.
Very value.
Dire are scanning.
Lots of BK. I know this is weird to say because BKB has just kind of been this item. I feel like from my casting in this DPC for both EU and NA, BKB seems to be even more popular than usual. Have you noticed that in this patch?
I think people are really loving the BKB being so strong even at its final stage. It doesn't go down to that 5 seconds anymore. You have 6 seconds. That's plenty, you can work with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big buff for the ability to just click BKB in any given engagement. You don't have to 5-head it like, oh, should I use this or should I preserve it for late game scenario? Nah, man, just click it. Like, it's easy. And to a degree, I dislike that change because it's more simplistic now.
Right. That's skill ceiling. I don't know. It will probably get nerfed, I would imagine.
I think so.
In some fashion. Maybe it goes 9 to 5 now instead of 9 to 6.
I think that's reasonable. 6 feels like too much for a final one. Abed?
Yeah. Abed being spotted out. He's going to get stunned. Kezu's in the vicinity as well, and they delete him quite easily. That took very little effort, in fact. And they still have Ravage online.
And that gold from the kill gives Quinn enough gold to get his BKB. It's flying out now. So I think they want to pressure for even more. They want to get the tier 1 mid tower with his death, of course. But maybe even look for more engagements.
Wow, this tower was actually at full HP just then. That is insane.
Treant Protector here?
Yeah, serious. I was double checking just to make sure. But looks like it's going to go from 100 to 0 here. As EG wait for Abed to come back. Obviously, the Aegis has already been consumed, so we won't know in about a minute how long Roche will take as relocation to the top, just to push out this lane. Let's see what the item progression is for Yawar now. This is the most interesting because of the Midas. As the BKB, Gus is going to be dodged, and Abed will blink out. But he's going to get chased now. There's the Orchid. Gets cookied, though. And the Nether Toxin is going to dissuade Quincy Crew from going any further.
Yeah, they managed to get him out there. Good saves. And I like what RTC is doing. Look at him. He's just like, I'm going to keep pressuring top. You have to respond to this all the time. He's just being very annoying. And at the same time, of course, accelerating his farm. This is very efficient carry gameplay that we see from RTC here.
And he is going for the exact same build as last game. Assault Cuirass is next. So tons and tons of minus armor. Obviously, Roche is probably in their mind as well, being able to take him out a hell of a lot faster than Quincy Crew. And really the only thing they have to fear in the Roche pit is Ravage, and then maybe late game Quinn getting an Ags on Storm, potentially. But aside from that, it feels like Roche favors EG inherently.
It does, yeah. And speaking of item progression, like I said earlier, the puck did decide to go towards that Aghanims. Now he's halfway towards it. When he gets it, he can counter out the triple BKB you see on Quincy right now, because even Tidehunter has a BKB.
Yeah. He's going to get fire blasted here. Does have the Yules to take off Ignite if he really wants to. Yawar's in the vicinity. He's perhaps waiting for the Gust to be played, but he's going to get out just fine. On the other side, though, Arteezy destroys Io. Has to buy back into the game, though. We see the Ravage come out from Kezu as they chase MSS onto the high ground. Trying to aggro those creeps a little bit, but Kezu, with that BKB continuing to chase, he is huge. Jarak's going to get right-clicked down by Yawar. Finally, MSS takes it to the grave. A 3-for-1 in favor of Quincy Crew. They lose 1 core and 2 supports.
Really well played there, but this is their power spike, I feel. If all their cores have BKB, you can be very confident in how you take the fight. So right now, EG, even though they've been in the control of this game, they have to respect a little bit how strong Quincy's timing is right now.
And Yawar is starting to get on track. I mean, you had more faith in the Midas than me, I'm not going to lie. And he's top 3 net worth,
yeah,
just
man.
like that.
Just sits there and farms. It works pretty well.
And into the Roche pit they go. I mean, they had to be careful. I mean, we talked about the lack of ability, especially when Ravage is down. They can't really contest Roche as easily. And if you're going against the puck, I mean, again, every single ability that has AoE aspect to EG means that Roche fighting is just going to be easier in general.
Yeah. For certain. I think a big reason, by the way, why Midas works so well for Drow in this game is that if you think about Midas and what's the prime thing that it does, well, it makes you get more out of less. So even if you don't control the map and don't have that much territory to farm, you can get a lot out of it. I don't really see it as a fast farming item, but it increases the amount of farm you get from limited space.
Oh, Arteezy, he's on the high ground of Quincy Crew's jungle. That's the first life going to go down for him. Remember, they're not working with Ravage for Quincy Crew. BKB pop by Arteezy. Cookies through the low ground. Nicely done from Jerax. But Arteezy getting extremely low. Looks like he's going to be brought down eventually. A huge kill for Quincy Crew. And this might open up a potential Roche. But again, a lot of AoE abilities still online for EG.
Yeah, a lot of AoE abilities, but still BKB available for Tide, and he's up and beefing it on the front line, so maybe they can do it behind.
Yeah, in they go. Gush to minus the armor a little bit from Roche. Mortimer's kisses from very long range. And you can see Quinn really wants to find Jerax.
Oh my God.
The double jump cookie with the tumbler story. And here comes Puck. Gets off the coil. Illusory orbs to the other side. Looks like Quinn's going to live through this engagement, but Crit will not be so lucky. Buyback now onto Crit. Still has the Bramble Maze to be able to be used in the Roche pit. And knowing that a lot of these BKBs are down, now that Arteezy is about to spawn, if they can just delay this a little longer, this Roche still could go EG's way.
Yeah, Arteezy is respawning at a good time. He can come in and maybe just get this for free. They're backing out.
Yeah, Roche has been laid out on a silver platter potentially, but there is Ravage again for Kezu. Arteezy blinks into the pit. Oh, Quinn actually uses quite a bit of mana to get into the pit himself. Pops the BKB. They really want to go for this Roche. And Abed jumps in, but looks like Quinn's going to get the Aegis and the kill on Abed. Nicely done from Quincy Crew. That is a huge turning point potentially in this game.
Yeah, that was a nice Orchid coming out from Storm. The puck did manage to snatch something, though. He got the Aghanim's shard stolen, so didn't die completely in vain. Getting that, you know, that's 1,400 gold value, but dying kind of sucks, though.
Who would you like to see that on? Will it stay on Abed?
Difficult to say.
Extra mobility with the waning rift. It gives you some vision.
I'd give it to Abed. I was gonna say I like the Snapfire Shard in this game, but look at her skill build. She doesn't have Scatterblast yet, so probably not gonna give it to Grandma.
Yeah, unfortunately. And you really want like a Blink Dagger to combo it with, right? In a lot of cases.
Yes, you do. No, it's a great shard for Puck. He's gonna insta-consume it.
Of course. Yeah, probably didn't even have a conversation with Arteezy after the last game.
No.
Arteezy eating it himself uselessly on Wraith.
Well, I mean, this is another case of I earned this, you know? I died for this shard. This is mine now.
True.
Gotta have it. In all
So
seriousness...
Quinn now with the Aegis. Go ahead.
Yeah, in all seriousness, it is a good shard in this game, though, because you can reveal people when they go Invis. There's already a Glimmer Cape being purchased on Ogre. There's a Shadow Blade, or Silver Edge, sorry, on Drow Ranger. So being able to reveal people as Puck is not that bad.
Yeah, for sure. Although Abed's farm has kind of been put on hold thanks to these couple of deaths he's had recently. Still, I mean, last time we talked about his Aghanim Scepter, he had the same amount of gold, it feels like, as looks like Crit is going to be dropped again. Relocate not really needed here, but Quincy Crew with a 5K net worth lead, trying to push this to a game 3 as the final game before potential, well, I shouldn't say potential, before tiebreakers tomorrow.
Can Puck get out of this?
Bottom lane, Abed. Illusory Orb out. Jaunts and Blinks will be fine. Arteezy is all alone. Has the BKB still. You can see the Mortimer's Kisses, but Kezu's just going to pop the BKB. That's the first life for Arteezy. Can they cover him properly? They're going to take out Crit again, and Kezu jumps in with a nice Ravage into the Gush. Nether Toxin from the side from MSS, but it's not going to be enough to save anybody. And onto the high ground they go. Quincy Crew looking to finish this game in style. Double kill, make it a triple for Quinn. And let's see how many buildings they can get. And anytime you have a Drow Ranger in this situation, it is very quick.
Yeah, good zip there by Storm in the start of a fight. He zipped in and found the Puck on the backline. Puck was not able to get any abilities off, really. So he sniped that from pretty far. Look at him. He's all the way over on the triangle and jumps from there.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of miscommunication from Arteezy, because he really wanted to stand deep in that fight, but they just could not cover him.
Yeah.
This is going to be a full set of racks in the bot lane.
Yeah, racks
looks like they'll be happy with that.
They're backing out again? What is this face?
Now we have a smoke from Quincy Crew, but Ags is online for Abed.
Yeah,
we'll see how much difference this makes.
It's gotten to the point now where Storm is not the biggest threat anymore, though. I feel like Drow Ranger has made herself a presence.
Yep, they're going to go on top of Abed again. He has his Yules to dispel, but he's going to go inside a Static Remnant. Illusory Orb, and will be fine, but my god. He has to be very careful in this game.
Oh, they got Drow.
Oh, Terrorize. Oh, Yawara is going to be found out. BKB from Arteezy allows him just to right-click to his heart's content. And Quinn still with the Aegis, but absolutely no mana, so they might be able to get him, but they're going to chase Ponlo instead. Oh, they're going to re-evaluate that stance as Quinn looks to be dead now, but relocate from Milan available as well. He's going to pop it. They're going to try to stun him in the meantime, but... Oh, they end up Abed using himself by accident, I think.
Yeah, the relocate bringing the Storm to safety and just farming. Meanwhile, Wisp, that death rate on coming back alone is not getting better.
But for this game, very high mortality rate.
True.
Or actually, mortality is a bad, so it would be a low mortality. Wait,
yeah, survival. Yeah, survival rate.
Survival rate, sure.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I guess high. Yeah. Speaking of
that could have been a lot worse. They lose the draw, but at least Quinn lives. Could have been really bad for Quincy Crew.
Yeah, that was a nice smoke, though. I mean, they smoke in. They had a sentry down as well, which was crucial, so that he could see the Drow Ranger and they just jump her. If they do that, I think they can kill her before there's any chance to even reload her out. If they get Wraith King in at the same time as like Snapfire focusing down with Mortimer Kisses and so on.
So if Quincy Crew wins this game, it'll be pushed to a game 3, and We talked about how they don't have a ton to play for because they've already secured themselves #1 seed. But if there is a tournament of some kind or whatever replaces major, if anything, then maybe the seedings will matter a lot. So this is not a throwaway game for Quincy Crew at all.
I like how you say if
Plus, the
anything.
more games you can play against them, the more data you have to work with as well.
I'd like to envision like a rock, paper, scissors tournament after this, you know? We'll organize something.
So if it's a rock, paper, scissors tournament, it's got to be like, if you're #1 seed, you have to have more lives than everybody else, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, seeding would matter more, I would say, in a rock, paper, scissors tournament than in Dota, right? In Dota, you can always be skilled. I suppose rock, paper, scissors is 90% skill, though.
So they say. I'm yet to be convinced. Near the... oh, I thought I heard a relocate, but... Nope. 9K lead for Quincy Crew. Next Roshan, we won't know for a minute and a half. And that could be the big boy with the Refresher Shard or the Aghanim Scepter. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of Refresher Shard lately.
Yeah, big value as well. Like the cheese, right? The Spirit Breaker, Refresher Shard. Yeah.
Last game was a joke. Let's be real. That was pathetic usage.
But
or was that the That was the Arkosh game. That was the previous series. Right?
Yeah, it was Arkosh. Speaking of refresher, though, Tidehunter is building one on his own, so he would love to have a refresher. He's gonna pay for it himself if he has to.
Yeah, he has the Aghanim Scepter, so AoE Gush, which will help any potential Roche. I mean, that helps a lot for Roche taking and contesting as well.
There's a fantastic synergy on their team between Gush on Tidehunter and Drow Ranger Multi-Shot. If you combine these two, you can do tremendous damage since it's physical. And you can do even more. Like, the Drow Ranger multi-shot is actually spell ampable as well, so you can increase the damage further with stuff like a Veil.
Nobody's buying Veil anymore.
They have a Veil.
Oh, Ponlo already has one. I stand corrected. Okay.
Yeah, it's all about this combo. I'm telling you, it's gonna burst everything.
Pretty dirty.
Dire are scanning.
All right. Quincy Crew scanning the triangle area. They'll be scanning an illusion, but they know it's an illusion now. Not going to get baited this time. And this is a really crucial point of the game, because this next Roche, if Quincy Crew gets it, it's going to be difficult for them to lose. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I think EG have to be contesting this. They do have a smoke ready on Jerax.
Arteezy has the finished assault, so he is looking very strong, but still, the top two net worths in the game are Storm and Drow, both on Quincy Crew's side. Quinn has the Shivas to go along with the Bloodstone now.
Yeah, Drow has a lot of net worth, but if you get on top of that hero, you can destroy her impact in a team fight really hard. She has the Hurricane Pike and the Wisp to save her, but even so, if she gets chased down by Arteezy, I think the fight could be difficult for her.
Yeah, I would imagine, I mean, not that this is any different than what you would normally go, I guess, but the Swift Blink is going to be pretty important to helping close that gap. Just the extra movement speed and everything you get out of it.
Yeah, fantastic item. It's a feel-good item when you get it as a carry. It allows you to do everything. Chasing people, getting out of jail, you know, like whatever you need.
I mean, he could opt for an Abyssal instead. Like, he went for Basher after the Swift Blink, but maybe Basher first could potentially be better. But we'll see what he chooses here.
Oh,
slotting is an issue. Yep, smoke from EG, but I think they might have been partially spotted out here. They're going to take the outpost now and reveal it. And Roche will be up in 40 seconds, so expect a giant fight then. Refresher won't be online for Kezu at that stage. And of course, EG have the benefit of having static remnants to be able to scout this out.
Hold your high grounds.
Oh, we have the smoke. Kezu, he's going to get popped. They're going to try to go for MSS. The Gush attaches to him. Quinn jumps in as well. This is going to be a freebie. And just like that, it's a 5v4, but he does have buyback. So if they want to reconnect, it is possible to still fight for EG. They're going to do just that, and they're going to TP onto the outpost that they just recently took. Jerax might have to buy back as well, as Roshan is now up. So back to a 5v5. Ponlo, he's going to die eventually. He also has buyback. That's 3 buybacks already, just showing the importance of this Roche.
Yeah, nobody wants to give up. EG are the ones sitting on Roche, but it is far from controlled as they're wrapping around here on Quincy.
Yeah, they need to take a fight. Oh, Nether Toxin. Kezu just walks right out of it. Quinn's going to jump in. MSS, they force the BKB from the Viper, but you can see Arteezy whacking away at Yawar. He's going to delete him completely. Double buyback now from Quincy. They've used 4 already. Crit. Looks like he's going to get gone on. He has buyback as well. This is going to be like a 10 buyback fight, I do believe. MSS, this is the first dieback of this fight if he's taken out. And finally will do so. Double kill for Kezu, who is still alive with his first life. Just working on another level of EG, apparently. 2 dead with no buybacks for EG.
Yeah, looks like EG are going to have to give this one up entirely, but they don't want to. They want to play around it. The D word. Puck wants to stick around.
And this Roche has the refresher shard, by the way, as always. Pretty sure there's a bug now. No Aghanim Scepters ever show up. Quinn. Gonna bide his time here. They know that this is a dieback on both heroes. So they just have to play this relatively safe. Arteezy, yeah, they want to actually fight here for sure. You can see Arteezy opening up his slots to try to go in, but it's too late. Aegis is on Yawar.
It's time to run.
Cheese is on Io. And yeah, this is where it gets really difficult for EG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, we have the Yules. Quinn wants to try to chase here. Shiva's to try to slow down a bit. Pops the BKB a little bit prematurely, but they're still going to find the kill on Abed nonetheless.
Yeah, big kill there. And he does have buyback, of course, but not something you want to have to use. He doesn't have much of a choice anymore, but he was trying to save for a refresher for that double coil. Not going to happen, though, as they're now marching towards the high ground of Radiant.
Are scanning.
Look at Arteezy. Sneaky.
Yep, that is not... I mean, I'm used to seeing him on a cliff, not in the trees, so definitely out of place a bit here as Quinn zips on into the enemy base. Looks like he's going to find a freebie on Crit who cannot buy back. Arteezy already forced out the BKB, and he's completely outnumbered. MSS can only kind of right-click from afar here. That's the first life. Buyback now onto Abed. They can try to turn this around. Yawar going to consume that Aegis thanks to the death. Quinn pops the BKB, focusing on MSS, but he doesn't really do that much damage to the BKB. And Kezu's Ravage hits absolutely nobody.
Yeah, that one missed entirely. They had a good read on what was going to happen there. So Refresher doing, would you say less than the Spirit Breaker?
Did Quinn pop it? Who was it?
It was the Tidehunter. The Ravage.
Oh, it was tied. Okay.
I mean,
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Is a 0-man Ravage less than the Spirit Breaker BKB? It has to be.
Yeah, BKB, at least you get a second item usage.
I guess Tide got that too, though. All right, it's a tie then.
Okay. Well done. Cheeses and... Well, Cheese is still online for Milan, isn't it? No, he used it.
Yeah,
They're just going through these Roche items like they're nothing.
They expended a lot there, and honestly, a really brilliant hold by EG. I can't believe that Arteezy had the balls to stay in that little corner. Like, he came out of the forest and just went for Draw Ranger, and it worked out really well. I mean, he didn't kill her immediately, but Snapfire with a long-range artillery.
Yeah, but still, despite that hold, it's still going to be very, very difficult to come back in this game. 16k net worth lead for Quincy Crew. I mean, the saving grace is there's no Aegis, there's no Cheese, and no Refresher Shard, so... In terms of Roche, still on the same page, but the farm discrepancy is starting to get a bit ridiculous.
I was gonna say a good thing in this game is that, you know, Arteezy could have buyback now, and the Draw Ranger and Wisp both used their buybacks when he went in and killed them, like 3 minutes back. But he actually buys out with his gold a Silver Edge right now. So even more sneakiness. No, I think the Silver Edge is good. It allows him to do what he tried to do there with the terrain in last fight. Just get surprise jumps on people. This is all about, can your Wraith King land on top of the Drow? Is the question for EG. If they get that, then good.
Arteezy gets off the Wraithfire Blast and the break to follow, and Kezu melts even after popping the BKB. And there's the coil. Actually snaps onto Milan. You can see the extra duration coming out, and he's continuing to get silence, and Mortimer's Kisses. Looks like they'll be able to clean him up eventually, and Arteezy does just that. Abed now going to try to focus on Yawar. Pops the BKB into the TP, and they don't have a bash or anything, so away he goes.
Yeah, he's out. but that's 2 heroes with no buyback. The creep waves are horrendous for EG though. Right now everything is close to their base, and some nice drawing on the map there. Beautiful. But yeah, they will not easily transition this into barracks, but they will want to try.
And a lot of this does have to do with buyback, like you said. And only one hero in the entire game currently has buyback,
Is under attack.
and that is Quinn. And he also has a lot of money, 5K. See if he wants to build. I mean, at this stage, I feel like it's almost always an Ags. It just feels way too good in late game scenarios. But would you want to see that or something else?
I'm agreeing with the Aghanims here. You could make a case for Hex sometimes, but it doesn't feel that impactful in this game because there's Aeon Disc on Puck, so it's not super reliable for locking him down. And hexing Wraith King somehow doesn't feel right. It's not as impactful as hexing someone you can just kill and then get rid of. Wraith King is still gonna come back.
Is under attack.
All right, a second buyback has come back, and it's Arteezy. So one for each side now in a game that was looking Quincy crew mega favored, but it's come back a little bit now, and EG sees a window of opportunity to potentially take this game too.
You gotta be careful when entering through that window though, because Tide has double Ravage ready. You know, even if he whiffs one entirely, he still has a second one available, but he can chain stun hard now.
That is true. They do have a couple ways to break him now, though, as Ponlo taking the brunt of the damage from Arteezy, who blinks in, but now the rest of Quincy crew have re-engaged. Ponlo still living through this somehow, but finally goes down to the Bramble Maze. That's the first life for Arteezy. There pops the BKB, and Quinn and company look to be backing up.
Wow, very...
So essentially a Reincarn and BKB in trade for an Ogre kill.
Yeah, very cautious by Quincy to back out there. I feel like even though you lost your Ogre, maybe you want to push and try and fight more there with the Reincarnation down. But they're being disciplined, I guess.
Well, I guess the other thing is they did use a bunch of BKBs in addition to Arteezy, right? So Quinn used his. Not sure. Tide wasn't in the vicinity, and I don't think, Yawar didn't use it, so it was just a Quinn BKB as well.
Yeah, exactly. Even Viper held his. Speaking of Hex, by the way, Viper is in fact sitting on 3,800 gold, and he has ambitions to get a Hex to deal with the Storm Spirit.
So he never actually finished Shiva's. He just had the plate mail.
Yeah, he's got...
Or was that last game? I can't even remember anymore.
Yeah, last game he did go for the Shivas. In this game he only has the plate mail and a casual cloak. He is Mr. Casual over there. Look at that itemization. Getting value.
They are value items for sure. And Arteezy picked up the Swift Blink, and he's not even going to bother with buyback, so no more buyback for him, but MSS has his at the very least.
That's a great choice to finish it up, I would say. You get so much kill potential when you have Swift Blink on Wraith King, so just double down, try and get some kills.
And he's going to blink in and do a lot of damage to this tier 3. It's dead just like that, and he just Shadow Blades away.
Damn. He smacks right now. He does.
That is pretty dirty. Is that a leveler? Yeah, he has a leveler as well, so amplified damage to these towers. Very nicely done.
Absolutely crazy.
And now, by the way, Abed has a refresher for himself. This could get dirty.
I feel like Puck just power spiked massively, and he's about to hit level 25. That's even bigger. You get the Waning Rift silence and AoE, or like the AoE wrench, and he's going to be able to control the fight much better. Oh no,
Yeah.
What a pause.
Yeah, perfect timing. And we'll see.
XD.
Yeah, he's basically. Well, how much XP is he away? It's like, I don't know if I can alt click as a spectator. It's like 2 XP away or something.
Yeah, he's currently 63 experience away.
XD.
He's real close.
Sure.
Okay. We don't really see the Dream Coil Rapid Fire anymore. Is there? What's the reason for that? Was it? I can't remember if it was nerfed or not.
It wasn't nerfed, I don't think. The build just relies too much on kind of a gimmicky playstyle for Puck. And right now, it's just more value to go either for Kaya Sanj builds or Witchblade. You know, this was the Desolator, Daedalus style Puck that went for the Rapid Fire, and then with like a Rapier at level 25. But it's just much riskier, harder to execute, and there's not much reason to do it.
It didn't feel natural to see Puck with right-click items. Just something was wrong with that picture.
Like, it ain't right kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're gone. Look at the cameras. Where are they? They left. Oh, Mila is coming back. Nope.
Everybody taking a bathroom break, knowing that this next fight could decide the game, because although the buybacks are coming back now for each respective teams, thanks to the cooldown, but we are 47.5 minutes in. Quincy Crew previously had like a 15K lead, I want to say, something around there.
Yeah, looks
And
like
everybody's refreshed now.
a quick potty break there. Don't want to go into battle with a full bladder. That's bad.
Yep, that's what the bucket is for, but I guess today's gamers are... they have higher standards than what I would have been okay with.
Yeah, pro gamers these days.
They're less disgusting than they used to be, that's for sure.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, Ponlo. Of course, Bulba being the exception. Good friend of mine, I'm allowed to make that joke. So, moving on. Quinn has 7,500 gold, by the way. Good lord. Spend some of that. All from the high ground. Arteezy gets off the Wraithfire Blast, but there's a nice Terrorize to keep them in place, and Quinn might get deleted, but there's the Ravage to save him from Kezu, and Quinn gets away. Yandis procs onto Abed. Gonna be able to phase shift a little bit here. Mortimer's Kisser's not gonna do a whole lot right now, as this fight has kind of gotten back to a stalemate of sorts. So see who wants to reset. That was very close to Quinn dying, though.
Tidehunter did use Ravage, so he refreshes, though. Meanwhile, the Puck used his coil, but did not refresh. So they want to wait about 40 seconds and then take another fight.
Right.
Whereas Quincy, they would be fine fighting right away now.
Yeah, a lot of people sitting on a ton of gold. MSS with 5K gold wants to hold on to that buyback. And yeah, it looks like Ags will be next for Quinn, so he just wants to make sure that he has enough for that and buyback, so still, I'm sure, a bit away from accomplishing that. Roche will be up in a minute and a half, and this will have Refresher Shard and Aghanim Scepter, finally. Unless it's bugged. I don't even know if it exists anymore. I'm not convinced. Arteezy forces out the BKB from Quinn. Still has Reincarn to work with. That's life number 1. Watch for Kezu to potentially jump in and get that Ravage, but he pops the BKB and TP's out. No way to cancel that.
Yeah,
Into the smoke they go.
means they concede Roche a little bit. They're gonna go into a triangle. Don't go straight Roche. They want to go in and see what they can find.
Yeah, and the scan comes out from EG as well, so they know that they are not sitting in the Roche pit. So will likely be on their triangle. So they just got to wait out for Arteezy's ult again. Another 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for the ulti, but that means that Refresher is gonna time up on Kesu as well. So you'll have the double Ravage coming up soon.
Yep, true.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
And we'll have to talk about this Aghanim Scepter on Roche. I mean, I could talk about this all day. Wraith King Ags is hilarious. I would love to see it if it goes to EG.
Not bad, honestly, in this game. I think that would be really good for them, because then they can stay functional and do stuff with their team, not having to buy back immediately, but still being able to use spells when they get bursted.
And if Quincy Crew gets it, I assume Quinn would eat it and then have 7,500 gold to get some other item, like a sheep or whatever. Abed gets jumped on. He's going to phase shift out, though. Eon Disc did proc to allow him to use spells. And they're going to try to play this a little bit defensively. Crit regrouping with his team.
This is a risky Roche for Quincy.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the goal is to try to bait out some of the AoE, like a Terrorize or a Mortimer's Kisses. Obviously, Coil is hard to bait out since he has 2.
Yeah, I like
And they're actually going to smoke up.
Oh, going around. The arrow is drawn.
Are scanning.
Yeah, Ponlo is seen. Phase shift immediately from Abed. Waning Rift as well, but he's still on the cliff. Ponlo gets off the Ignite. There's the multicast and the Ravage to follow. MSS is being brought down in quick succession. Does have the buyback to work with, though. Will use it along with Crit. And you can see Arteezy getting kited to a very high degree here. All he wants to do is fight, and he's going to try to. Look at that cleave as well. They actually spawned right on top of him. But there's a Hurricane Pike from Yawar, another Ravage from Kezu, and Arteezy gets brought down for the first time, but that's just his reincarnation. Yawar getting beat down now. That's a double kill for Arteezy. Kezu's next on the list. Multiple buybacks from Quincy Crew. And Ogre, Ponlo, that's a triple kill for Arteezy. And look at the buybacks coming out again. A repeat of the earlier fight, it feels like, Waga.
Like nobody died. 5v5 again.
Oh, Quinn with a very long zip. He has very little mana. And there's the Terrorize on top of the Bramble. He has to be very careful. Quinn getting right-click down into Oblivion. Wraith King looks like he's going to be able to find him, but he does have buyback 100 seconds if he doesn't want to use it. Will likely be forced to. But the base, you're right, tier 4 tower is already down. And this one's being beat down. If EG... I mean, EG has to go back and try to defend this.
I think they're fine. They're ignoring it. They're going to fight. The catapult is not strong enough. Oh, the reload, though.
Oh, yeah, reload with Yawar. Look at this damage. Fortification is popped, and EG wants to continue on to try to find a kill, knowing that the buybacks are very high importance. Now the Ancient is exposed. Yawar is left alone. He will blink out and Shadow Blade to safety, and that forces Arteezy to try and defend. That means that opens up Quincy Crew potential. Oh, MSS. TP will be canceled thanks to the Fire Blast. Has to walk back the old-fashioned way. This game is quickly turning quite epic. Quinn jumps in again, but MSS pops the BKB. This would be a dieback for him if he dies.
Coil stopping the storm from chasing.
See the coil number 2 has been used. His refresher is up in 30 seconds, though. So see if EG can try to delay Roche a little bit more, or if Quincy can take advantage of this window.
The next relocate is up, so they could relocate the base again. I think we're going to see it. If they just make a play that baits them out, then maybe they can reload for the throne.
Yeah, and this means that EG just needs to push out these lanes.
I want to talk about something that
opens
happened.
up Roche.
So in the fight that we saw, that was hectic and crazy. Puck actually focused down on the Wisp and Drow, coiled them, and then after the coil, Wisp relocated towards the Wraith King, but Puck coiled them again, so they Aghanim stunned and landed next to Wraith King, who brought the smackdown on them. It was actually a really cool thing to see in that fight. A very important detail that I felt had to be highlighted.
You could actually, it's not often you see the cleave work on heroes, right? It's mostly like a farming mechanic from Wraith King.
Arteezy made it work. Last game in this.
Sure. All right, Aghanim Scepter online for Quinn. Only 2 buybacks exist, and one of them is on Arteezy, and the other one is EG as well, actually, with Jerax's Snapfire.
Oh,
so every kill, very crucial here. Oh, Yawar, stun out from Milan thanks to the tether. And if they kill Io, this would be huge. They're beating him down. It looks like he will fall. 120 seconds on the deck, and Abed wants to continue to chase. Yawar gets the second puck coil onto 2. The BKBs don't matter anymore. Finally, the Ravage comes out from Kezu. Can they kill Yawar in time? The double Ravage comes through as well. But Abed, the Eon Disc procs, and it looks like Yawar will finally go down. 2 dead for Quincy Crew, no buyback. They do find MSS, though. Quinn jumps in. Nice Aghanim Scepter stun onto several heroes. Buyback now onto the Snapfire. Beautiful Terrorize to follow, and Storm Spirit might be going down as well. This will be very close. 3 dead for Quincy Crew. EG looking to take this potentially. Arteezy finally dies a second time, but still has buyback. Buyback advantage in favor of EG big time, and they can just try to throne this now.
It's just Ogre and Tide. That's not a problem anymore. The refresher for Wraith King there as well, giving him that 1 extra life that made a difference, that he could bring down the Storm as well in the fight.
And they know they have a decent amount of time to work with here. And Kezu stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's 4 dead. Quincy Crew in a 1v4 situation now.
Yeah, they've done it.
As it looks like Arteezy is going to make his way back into the mid lane.
Yeah, checking the timers here, but there's going to be no
And GG
chance.
is called before the buildings even get hit, because they know they cannot defend this. And EG take out Quincy Crew 2-0. No more undefeated status for Quincy Crew. And EG are tied for second now with Undying.